As an example of hearing how a writer develops the power of a voice, by considering the work as it's read out loud, we'll listen to a passage from Frank McCourt's Pulitzer Prize winning book, Angela's Ashes. In this scene, McCourt describes an incident from his childhood when his family's only hope for a Christmas dinner was an embarrassing handout from the St. Vincent de Paul charity.
All you can get in the St. Vincent de Paul docket was a pig's head, and my mother wanted something else besides a pig's head for Christmas. But the butcher takes the pig's head off a shelf, and when Maliki says, "Ooh, look at the dead dog," the butcher and Mam burst out laughing. He wraps the head in newspaper, hands it to Mam and says, "Happy Christmas." Then he wraps up some sausages and tells her, "Take these sausages for your breakfast on Christmas Day." Mam says, "Oh, I can't afford sausages." And he says, "Am I asking you for money? Am I? Take these sausages. They might help make up for the lack of a goose or a ham." "Sure, you don't have to do that," says Mam. "I know that, missus. If I had to, I wouldn't." Mam says she has a pain in her back, that I'll have to carry the pig's head. I hold it against my chest, but it's damp, and when the newspaper begins to fall away, everyone can see the head. Mam says, "I'm ashamed of my life that the whole world will know we're having pig's head for Christmas." Boys from Leamy School see me, and they point and laugh. "Ah, God, look at Frankie McCourt and his pig snout. Is that what the Yanks have for Christmas dinner, Frankie?" One calls to another, "Hey, Christy, do you know how to eat a pig's head?" "No, I don't, Paddy." "Grab him by the ears and chew the face off of him." And Christy says, "Hey, Paddy, do you know the only part of the pig the McCourts don't eat?" "No, I don't, Christy. The only part they don't eat is the oink." After a few streets, the newspaper is gone altogether, and everyone can see the pig's head. His nose is flat against my chest and pointing up at my chin, and I feel sorry for him because he's dead, and the world is laughing at him. My sister and two brothers are dead too, but if anyone laughed at them, I hit them with a rock. I wish Dad would come and help us because Mam has to stop every few steps and lean against the wall. She's holding her back and telling us she'll never be able to make it up Barrack Hill. Even if Dad came, he wouldn't be much use because he never carries anything, parcels, bags, packages. If you carry such things, you'll lose your dignity. That's what he says. He carried the twins when they were tired, and he carried the Pope's picture, but that's not the same thing as carrying ordinary things like pig's head. He tells Maliki and me that when you grow up, you have to wear a collar and tie and never let people see you carry things.
As Frank McCourt explains how he discovered his own voice for this book, take careful notice that he is aware of both the life experiences that affect his writing style, as well as the writing techniques he used to achieve the effect, including a calculated selection of first-person point-of-view pronouns and present tense verbs.
I was writing the first 19 pages of the book about my mother and father meeting in New York and having me. And then I made a note on the left page about my earliest memory, which is being in a playground in Classen Avenue in Brooklyn on a seesaw. And I wrote, "I'm on a seesaw on Classen Avenue in Brooklyn." I wrote this note in the present tense, unlike the first 19 pages, which are written in the past tense. I wrote I'm in a play, I'm with my brother Malik, he's 2, I'm 3. So, that's the present tense, voice of the child. I didn't know what I was doing at that moment. The next day, I continued writing that in that voice and in the present tense, and I was home free, so to speak. I had the voice of this is what I wanted, this is what I was looking for, subconsciously, and it just came. God or somebody sent me the voice, and I was on it, and that's what I felt comfortable with, that voice.
There's definitely a relationship between point of view and voice, but voice is a much larger concept, and point of view is one component of the concept of voice.